Okay, long time no see. Hi, glitter pen. Long time no see, but we're gonna talk about the secrets of my Hollywood life, Broadway lights. And I'm gonna do this one differently than I normally do. I'm gonna do it kind of more in the style of my A-list click videos where I just kind of run through it. I am still going to run chapter by chapter, but I just could not make myself devote too much time to these, because the last couple, I think this is the last one that actually makes sense. I really didn't like the last book, but whatever. I am finished with the series. So, Secrets of My Hollywood Life, Broadway Lights. This is book 5. So in book 1, Caitlin is a Mary-Kate and Ashley style child star moving up in the world into an adulthood, and all she wants is to feel normal and to feel good and have a normal experience. She wants something other than to be working for her family's fucking money, even though her mother just works her like a workhorse. I hate Meg Burke. If Meg Burke has no more haters, I am dead. So she goes and pretends to be a rando at a high school, meets a boy, she falls in love, and is like living it up, trying to Hannah Montana her way through shit. But gasp, it's not all it's cracked up to be. High school bullies, juggling everything. It's so hard when her rival, Sky Mackenzie, comes through and is like, haha, I'm going to expose you, loser. Everything you've said to everyone is a lie. But she comes out on the other side with a pristine Hollywood reputation. On location, it's summer break. She's now going to go and film a movie on location with her rival and her ex-boyfriend. And everything makes it harder for her to continue her relationship with her boyfriend, Austin. It's so hard. The show that she's on is great. No notes. Family Affairs. Oh no! The show that she's on is not going great, and they bring in a new daughter. And this new daughter is doing everything in her possibility to make sure that I have all the main characters of every book I've ever read in my head. Caitlin gets kicked off of her show. And then as even her mother has taken on this new girl. I love this book. Like, even just holding it, I'm like, I get like positive good feelings just holding it. I love this book. Even her mother is kind of holding her in this, holding this other girl because she's hungry for it in a way that Caitlin just isn't. She's been doing this since she's 13. She was 3. She's full. But the girl comes in, ruins everything, but everything gets resoluted, including Caitlin and her rival Sky are now more frenemies than anything else. Oh, oh. But then the show gets canceled anyway. And now Caitlin has to figure out for the first time what she's going to do with the rest of her life. Is she going to, for now, just to support her family? But really, what is she going to do for the rest of her life since Family Affair isn't going to be on air anymore? Paparazzi Princess. Which is the most recent video. Again, go check them out. But Caitlin, in the depths of her depression, parties and spends money as she attempts to figure out what to do next. And her mother is not helpful. Everything that everyone's Anna. Everything Caitlin wants to do, her mom thinks is dumb. And everything her mom wants to do, anyone with eyes can see is a bad idea. So there's the pop song, the reality TV show, going back and doing a billion movies, getting whatever. It's bad. Caitlin falls into frenemies with a new friend situation as Lauren and Ava, and they end up being our long-lasting antagonists through the end of the series. Don't do this to your children. Don't do this to your children. Also, her best friend is going to college and might be going to college across the country. And that's really fucking up her whatchamacallit, her vibe. I actually want to read the back of this book because I haven't read it in a while. Very early in television premiere season, the buzz always enters around pilots and that have star quality of some sort. If the show has big name creator, is popular current show spinoff, is based off a popular book or movie, or has a star attached that everyone gets all excited and writes about how the plot is next Friends or Sex and the City or Gossip Girl. Sadly, it rarely works out that way. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who wrote the pilot or who's attached to star or what book the pilot is based off of. To get picked up, the show has to be good. It's that simple. That's a Hollywood secret. Is this one of the ones where the actual like synopsis is? Yes, it is. I don't know if I actually read the synopsises of these books because they're inside the front cover. Yeah, I've covered myself. I'm not doxing myself. As the last season of Family Affair comes to a close, primetime teen star Caitlin Burke is no close to deciding what she wants to do after the show ends. Struggling with her career choices and bummed over ridiculous catfighting with her BFF, Liz, Caitlin is so mixed up that she even starts to semi-bond with her arch nemesis, Sky. Worst of all, she falls in with two of Hollywood's biggest party fiends when one of them asks her, "Don't you ever want to do what you want to do?" Shopping sprees and the Tinseltown nightlife seem fun at first, but Caitlin realizes that being the paparazzi princess might just be the downfall of her career, her reputation, and her relationships with everyone she loves. So, she's drinking and partying and just getting a little too turned, and that's gonna fuck her up, bro. So she's trying her best. She is trying her best. But at the end, so Liz is friends with this girl from New York, and the girl from New York is a bitch. There's always, I hate East Coast elitism so fucking much. Like, you can't call Atlanta a flyover city. What the fuck is a Schenectady? Anna and Liz, Caitlin and Liz, because Anna and Caitlin are the same character. Caitlin and Liz effectively make up, and everything's good for summer in New York because Caitlin takes on the new project of working on a Broadway show, not a musical. I so wish it would have been a musical. That would have been so much fun. But she is working on a Broadway show, a play, like Mean Girls No Singing, Heather's No Singing, about the last day of school in which a girl comes forward and realizes that she has a crush on this boy, and she's like, well, it's the last day of high school, so none of this matters, so I might as well just take my shot. She does, and it breeds conflict within the plot. It's a summer in New York. We've got a change of location. How lovely. And Caitlin's with her bestie, and Sky's there, her new bestie, and they are an adversity against Lauren and Ava as they continue to make sure their star is still rising. Because even after the short reprieve of employment with this show, she's still got to do something else after this. Like, what Family Affair isn't going to be waiting for her on the other side of this thing, and her mother is trying to keep the boat afloat in the worst way possible. Frankly, her assistant is keeping the boat afloat, and Meg is making everything worse as she tries to get her to come out to the Hamptons and schmooze with me. I'm only as important as my daughter is important, and if you're not here, no one's gonna give a shit about who I am. Also, I forgot to mention, at Family Affair, her brother starts acting, and Paparazzi Princess, he takes on the Shaggy role in a Scooby-Doo revival called Scoob, and is great and continues to act. I always thought they were going to cancel his show, but they never do. Good for him. Tea. So let's fucking get into it. So I'm not going to read the back of the book because it's taken me 4 books to remember that the fucking inside is where the descriptor is. Hollywood teen queen Caitlin Burke packs up her entourage, showbiz, family, friends, assistant, and publicist, and unfortunately not the dreamy boyfriend, and moves to the Big Apple for the summer for her Broadway debut. Caitlin is the toast of the town, and she hits the most exclusive New York night spots, enjoys the best food, hello Magnolia Bakery, and even guest as a celebrity host on Saturday Night Live. But the city that never sleeps isn't all cupcakes and virgin daiquiris. Long distance and a handsome new co-star put a strain on Caitlin's relationship with Austin. It turns out that Broadway divas are a whole different breed of neuroses and competition from Hollywood starlets. So we're finally at the premiere for Pretty Young Assassins, and Caitlin gets to bring Austin, and Ava's there, and the name of the play is Meeting of the Minds. My night usually revolves around a trip to Blockbuster, studying my script for Meeting of the Mind, my upcoming Broadway show, or getting takeout with my boyfriend. Kathy doesn't look convinced, but I keep going. I'm happy, which I know is hard for some people to believe when all they hear about is those meltdown rumors, but they're not true. I had a panic attack. I had a hard time coping with the news that Family Affair was going off the air. I mean, I was losing a show I'd been on since I was a preschooler. No one believes her. Hollywood Secret 1. Premieres don't start until all the stars are seated, whether that's 10 minutes late because you're talking to Access Hollywood, or 2 hours late because your names are Brad and Angelina, and then you have your never-ending, expanding brood of to bed first. The movie premiere start times are figurative. If the stars are scheduled to appear, no one from the studio will start the film until they arrive. Yay, Austin! As they're saying their goodbyes, because he's going to go to Austin. Austin's going to Austin, Texas to do a lacrosse intensive. And so he takes her to Disney World. What a dream. What a dream. Hollywood Secret number 2. Ever wonder why there are so many pictures in the tabloids of celebrities on roller coasters or posing with Mickey? As the celebrities don't get enough perks, going to amusement parks in places like Disney means more of them. We can easily get free park passes, especially if we stop for a photo op, but some stars can get more than just tickets. A VIP personal tour guide. Think $125 an hour and up. Plays host, concierge, and guide for your day in the park. The guides can't put you at the front of the line, but they can make sure you get good seating at restaurants and tell you where the best place to view the parade is and what attractions you should hit and when. Now, if your name is Brad or Angelina, Jesus Christ, or even my friend Miley, then visiting the parks is probably a totally different experience. It's not like they can actually wait in line with the rest of the public and not be mauled. For stars of this magnitude, line jumping, it has to be a must. Don't you think? Not that anyone from the Mouse House has ever confirmed that to me. I actually read this book last year and finished it last year during a hurricane, and I thought it was fun. It just reminded me of that. What I also find interesting about this book is because this one comes out in 2010? 2010? YouTube is a huge thing. They're all fighting via YouTube. So Sky calls Caitlin to be like, oh my god, check out what Lauren and Ava did. And they posted a YouTube video pretending to be them. Now this takes some explanation if you don't know, but you should know. Get read up on your 2000s diva history. Is that Selena and Demi and Miley's friend Mandy were in 2 separate camps beefing on their respective YouTube channels against each other, making fun of each other. So Teen Starlet does YouTube aggressively as 2010 YouTube is to 2012 Rihanna Twitter, if you are familiar. You should be familiar. Does anyone read the syllabus anymore? Everyone's calling Caitlin like, oh my god, check your YouTube. And I wouldn't normally care about YouTube either, she says finally, but this is over the top. They don't just mock you and Sky, they completely rip you both to shreds. They're wearing wigs to look like you too. Bad wigs, but still. Lauren plays and talks about how she's always in trouble, plays you and talks about how she's always in trouble with the press and how her downfall is everyone else's fault, not her own. She has 2 big fake front teeth, which is silly because your veneers are gorgeous. I mean, Julia had hers done by the same dentist. Anyway, Ava is Sky and has this long, equally horrible wig and keeps complaining about not getting as much attention as you do. Then they joke about both your careers are washed up now that FA is over. Oh, I see. Maybe this is a little worse than I imagined. My cheeks flush as if Austin can read my mind. Lainey, tell me the truth. Is it that bad? Frankly, I don't think it's that bad, but I didn't think it was that bad when I read it, but I'm not a 17-year-old girl anymore. So I don't know what isn't soul destroying anymore. I've lost that in me. But then she goes and has fun. Hollywood Nation, Celeb Scoop, Scat and Lava face off, which is great beef names, by the way. Like, no one wants to be shit, but everyone wants to be the shit. And Lava is great. No notes. Our new nicknames for Sky Mackenzie and Caitlin Burke, Scat and Lauren Cobb and Ava Hayden, Lava. Includes an exclusive interview with Caitlin Burke and Sky Mackenzie. Caitlin Burke can't catch a break. Just when it looked like the paparazzi princess had finally handed over her crown at a melee at the premiere of her flick, Pretty Young Assassins puts her back in the hot seat. According to several witnesses, Caitlin Burke and Sky Mackenzie, Caitlin's family affair and PYA co-star, had a meltdown when Lauren Cobb and Ava turned up at their party. Ava and Lauren started trading insults with Caitlin and Sky. Whatever they said must have really ticked Caitlin and Sky off because the girls had Lauren and Ava tossed out. Caitlin, Lauren, and Ava were tight up until a few months ago, when Caitlin's new hard partying ways caught up to her and landed her at senior side-eye. The hospital stay came on the heels of Caitlin's Sure photo shoot, where Lava showed up and allowed Ava's pooch to pee on a priceless dress. Caitlin has since admitted the difficult times caused her to have panic attacks. Crashing is certainly Lava's style when they did it the same at PYA's premiere. Everyone knows that Caitlin had a falling out with Laura and Ava, says an event planner. The girls were not on the guest list. They must have wormed their way inside. Those two would show up at an opening of an envelope. As soon as the studio saw what was happening, they wanted the girls out of there, but Sky took care of it first. Yes, Sky, Caitlin's one-time nemesis, now appears to be her savior. Sky knows what it's like to be on Lava's not list. She had her own parting with the pair last year. A year earlier, when the two dropped Sky like a hot potato. It was interesting seeing Sky stick up for Caitlin, but then again, those two seem sort of friendly these days, says someone who was on the scene. Scat are so chummy that they even took time out of their partying to shoot a YouTube clip for Tom Pullman, their FA producer. He reportedly sent a cameraman to the affair to get the girls to do a final plug for their beloved TV show. The clip was a hit, getting over 2 million hits thanks to the jokey nature of the pair, who tease each other throughout. Maybe that's why Lava decided that spoofing the clip was the easiest way to get back at Scat for having them kicked out of PYA premiere. Their own YouTube clip mocking Sky and Caitlin began airing yesterday, wearing wigs and fake teeth, and the two make fun of FA's stars. Their clip has been viewed so much that the pair promised future videos will begin airing right away. It's funny that the term upload hasn't really taken grip. Airing is so TV. I think it's pitiful that ridiculous video like theirs would get this much attention, says Sky, who phoned us to chat about the nasty news. But it just goes to show how badly some people are starved for attention. If the best they can get is an unpaid YouTube clip, then let them have it. Will Sky and Caitlin retaliate? Both girls say no, for now. When there's so many more important issues at the stake in the world, I'm sorry something like this is taking so much of our nation's attention, says Caitlin. Does she agree that the clip is over the top rude? I think it's unnecessary, says Caitlin, but it's a free country. If making a clip like this makes them happy, then that's your prerogative. I've got more important things to think about, like starting my play. Caitlin is currently in New York rehearsing for her Broadway debut in a teen star drama, Meeting of the Minds. Sky has filmed a pilot about a group of teens living in Alaska that is tentative, titled I Heart Snow. The show begins filming in Vancouver over the summer. On Lauren and Ava's agenda, more videos. The girls know that a fight with the stars as big as Caitlin and Sky is a way to keep themselves in the public eye, says a source. They're going to milk this incident as much as they can. It sure seems that way. We're so pleased that people like what we've been doing, says Ava, when asked for comment at the Verizon Wireless party at Shelter, where she was picking up 3 new phones. Kalu, my dog, has his own line. We're making our fans happy. Chapter 3, Welcome to New York. So now they are moving into a cutesy little townhouse in New York. Everyone's getting to live there. On the upside, living is posher than I would have imagined. Every time I've traveled to New York, my hotel room has been small, so I figured an apartment would be the same, but the place Mom and Dad rented is pretty spacious. After much family deliberating, we chose to sublet, a new term for me, an apartment in Tribeca that has a doorman and private security, its own indoor pool, a gym, and a laundry room. Since our housekeeper Anita stayed back in Los Angeles to take care of Casa Berg, Mom hired a new cleaning service and is having a personal chef come in a few nights a week to cook. Mom's specialty on either coast is still takeout. The apartment is set up railroad style. There are 2 floors and the rooms go from front to back. In the front there's a living room. Behind it is a decent sized kitchen and an eat-in dining room. And behind that is a rooftop patio. The floor above it has 4 bedrooms connected by a narrow hallway. Mom's and Dad's, Maddie's, Nadine, and mine and Liz's. Rodney is actually staying in his brother's place uptown, which worked out well. From what I can tell, the location of ours is perfect. It's only a 10-minute, 20 with traffic, ride to the theater, and just a long walk to the West Village, which is the best shopping and is home to my beloved Magnolia Bakery. They make the most amazingly sinful cupcakes in the world. Kate. Mom flies into my room carrying a date book and her BlackBerry. So they get to live in New York and do New York. And like, I'm not as enamored with New York as I am with LA, but I love set dressing. I love set dressing to a point. Some books love to do a bit too much set dressing to fill up the runtime to get to 250 pages, but it's so different from LA. Really luxuriate in the differences. Meg is talking about doing the Darling Daisies committee, which is just her white mom, rich woman activity to fill her time up with doing charitable acts for needy children. Oh my God. Oh God, I did not know that. We're going to do some love. This wasn't important when I started reading this. We're going to do some lovely dinners, Mom gushes. There's a few charity events coming up, a polo match in the Hamptons that sounds to die for, and of course the Ivory Party. You mean the White Party, I correct her. This year it's about the Ivory Party. Mom's long blonde hairstyle just like mine. We look like sisters, she always tells people. Nancy says it's going to be better than the White Party in every way. Maddie looks up from the Star Wars alarm clock he's just unpacked for me. Didn't Diddy's White Party move to Los Angeles anyway? Mom rolls her eyes. Figured he'd move to Los Angeles when all the best people are in New York for the summer. They complain about Caitlin's schedule and how much she has to do. And it's like, your daughter has an anxiety disorder and you are not putting enough effort in to give a shit about making sure she is not overwhelmed. You are not giving enough of a shit. Hollywood secret number 3. I don't know about Broadway show posters, but when it comes to movie and TV posters, everything you see on that one sheet is deliberate. Studio markets show their shows and movies Studio market their shows and movies very carefully, and posters are no exception. Every word, every actor's name and their placement, the biggest star's name goes above the title, and each image is carefully thought out. A studio will use a good review, even if it's by a no-name outlet or critic, to go into full effect. They'll enlarge the quote and put the unknown critic's name in small print. Sometimes studio will even deliberately use an image that reminds people subliminally of another movie they liked. The Women had a poster of a ton of writing that looked just like the poster of 27 Dresses, which on Katherine Heigl is wearing a dress made out of words. I guess they really hoped women seeing the poster would get the same fun feel, but they didn't. The Women bombed. A Renee Zellweger movie that was dead on arrival looked just like the poster from Sweet Home Alabama with Reese Witherspoon. Black dress, standing near luggage. Studios who tried this should be forewarned. If you think the press won't notice the coincidence, you're mistaken and in for a bashing. TV tome. Caitlin and Sky Keep the Fight Going by Haley Patterson. Hot on the heels of Ava Hayden and Lauren Cobb's second brutal YouTube clip in less than a week dissing Caitlin Burke and Sky McKenzie comes a dirty ditty from the rival camp. Fans are at Twitter literally about Sky posting on her Twitter account, MySpace page, and Facebook, not to mention her official website. Want to know where Ava and Lauren can stick their videos? In their bony asses. XOXO, Sky and Caitlin. So the post on Twitter, which Sky's publicist confirms is the real deal. Over at MySpace and Facebook, Sky has put up a top 25 reasons we can't stand Ava Hayden and Lauren list among the gems because they pair leggings with flip-flops. That's so 80s. Or because lavender lip gloss went out in winter '08, but they continue to pucker up in purple. And this gem, because the two haven't had a hit anything ever, which means their 15 minutes never even started. Our personal fave, because the two are like Skittles, sweet at first, but if you eat too many, you want to barf. While Sky's camp has been more than forthcoming in confirming that the statements are legit, Caitlin's camp has been keeping it mum, which isn't surprising. The former Family Affair co-stars always ran hot and cold, and it would seem unusual that the two would team up for anything, even disses. Still, as one friend of the pair muses, there's always a first time. The two of them are really mad about how far Ava and Lauren are taking this thing. I wouldn't be surprised if they came back swinging hard. Stay tuned. And it's time we get some reading of the plot of the book of the play. I've explained the plot of the play. I don't care to explain it anymore. 4. The Welcome Wagon. It's time for upfronts, which is apparently Hollywood secret number 4. Some people get to see next fall shows. Oh, the upfronts are not Broadway. They are TV. Some people get to see next fall's shows before the rest of the world. Every spring, the 5 major networks roll out the red carpet in New York and fly out their biggest talents to show off their new schedules to advertisers, media leads, and network affiliates. They put on this big production to do it, throwing parties and airing clips from their newest show. It's basically a schmooze fest, but it's also a lot of fun. This is one of the few times in under a year where you get to hang out with fellow network stars under one roof. It's where I met Patrick Dempsey and tripped over Jennifer Gardner's cute black stilettos at a party, and according to my mother, embarrassed her in front of George Clooney eons ago when he was on ER. I was so little I don't even remember this, but Mom claims I asked him why his hair was gray. Anyway, back to upfronts. You do interviews with the press and appear at the main event, but mostly it's just one big party filled with gift suites, cast photo ops, and fan pictures. I used to beg Tom Pullman, our FA creator, to send me every year. Now Maddie gets to go for Scooby and Sky for her pilot. They're talking about how to destroy lava, and then Lainey gets a little texty text and is like, "Hey Diva, you want to do SNL? You want to meet Seth Meyers? You want to do a fun little Lonely Island sketch with Andy Samberg? Do you want to do some fun shit with Stefan?" Like, this is when I started this year was when I started watching SNL with my dad. So I have a soft spot of Caitlin being like, "He's so dreamy," and me being like, "Yeah, he is so dreamy, isn't he? Ain't it? Ain't about a bitch." So they're gonna do SNL. The mom is like, "I don't know, maybe you shouldn't." She ends up doing it because it's great for her career and it's gonna be so good because she gets to be funny. The best part about Caitlin is she's funny. Excuse me. It's time for Caitlin to go up to her show in Broadway to do, practice and run-throughs and do the welcome wagon where she's learning about everything. She meets Forrest and they're great. Meg Valentine is the actress. I nod. I think I have my part memorized. I pull the pages out of my bag. I made some notes where I have questions I had nervously. Is it okay to have questions on a play script? Is that the norm for movies? It's the norm for movies, but I wasn't sure what the protocol was for theater. Maybe you're not allowed to touch the dialogue. I wanted to see how Meg did a few things. Meg Valentine is an actress I'm taking over for. She originated the role of Andy Samberg in London and here in New York, and her reviews were stellar. She's the only original cast member to leave the show. It's tough to slam one out of the park with a teen play, but this one sparks Seth's interest because of the plot. The whole story takes place in a high school on the last day of senior year. Andy gets up the guts to confess her love to Leo, who she's loved from afar for 4 years. Her confession sparks a trend that affects everyone in the lunchroom, and pretty soon everyone, even the teachers and principal, are confessing something. Their fears for the future, their dark side, their insecurities, and of course what it means to love someone who has never even known of your existence. Teens in London thought the show was the second coming of The Notebook, and they became addicted, and the repeat ticket sales were through the roof, partially because Dylan Coster, who plays Andy's love interest. Dylan is a huge star across the pond and has his first movie coming out in the States this year. Cool, you got the plot. Dylan's neat. He's great. All I can think, and again, I know it's not a musical. All I can think about is Dear Evan Hansen. Fucking don't kill yourself in a way that don't die in a way in which it's really easy for someone to co-op your suicide to make it about them. Make sure your suicide's about you. Take up space. Dylan's hot. She's kind of got the hots for him, but she's with Austin. There is no other boy besides Austin for Caitlin. So we meet Riley, and Riley's kind of the worst. She's not the worst. She's just bitchy. We will later learn that Riley has a crush on Dylan, and they're in their own plot that we are not privy to. But she's gonna be a bitch to Caitlin, and Caitlin's gonna be like, "What did he even do?" And she's like, "You know what you did." She's like, "I don't know what I did." They asked Caitlin, like, what's her theater experience? What does she like to go see in the theaters? And the only thing she's seen is Lion King. She's feeling very embarrassed. Caitlin is constantly a fish out of water. And even when she isn't a fish out of water, she is always being caught on her back foot. Stand up. Punch a bitch. Punch your mom. Riley accuses her of being stunt casting to bring in bodies and not because she's actually talented, hurting her feelings. Hollywood Nation online. Hot topic. Caitlin and Sky's meltdown-orama. Do our eyes deceive us, or were Caitlin Burke and Sky Mackenzie arm in arm in Haley? Arm in arm in Hele. Were Caitlin Burke and Sky Mackenzie arm in arm in Hele last night, acting as chummy as Drew Barrymore and half of Hollywood, dressed in matching outfits that make Britney Spears' tour clothes look timid, with their hair teased higher than the Capitol Record building. The pair hit Sunset Tower Hotel for dinner and then went dancing at my house, stopping at each location to take dozens of photos for wedding paparazzi, who were already salivating over the pair's previous mishaps that evening. At the Sunset Tower, they caused a scene in the middle of dinner by spraying a bottle of champagne on each other. At my house, they made Zac Efron flee in terror after they repeatedly tried to kiss him in front of esteemed Ashley Tisdale, who's pals with Zac's love, Vanessa Hudgens. Caitlin and Sky were out of control, says the witness. They were loud, rude, and didn't care who was watching. It was so out of character for them. Well, Caitlin at least. Gets us Hollywood Nationers wondering how we're scat. Are we so love it abbreviation for Sky and Caitlin, both in Big Apple for work in Los Angeles for the night, both in Big Apple for work and in Los Angeles for the night. And why would the recently redeemed Burke be up to mischief? The LA ladies were imposters. Ava Hayden and Laura Cobb thought it would be a hoot to dress up as Caitlin and Sky and cause trouble, admits a supposedly close pal who fears they'll kill me if they know I blabbed. The two were furious when they heard that Caitlin and Sky were benefiting from all this publicity instead of them. They can't believe Sky and Caitlin are going to host the season finale of Saturday Night Live. That didn't fly. Now they're trying to get payback. Others back up this source's claims, as they have pictures posted here and there, which distinctly show Lava, Lauren and Ava's new nickname courtesy of HN, playing dress-up. Who could have missed Ava's tattoo of her dog Kalu on the inside of her wrist? I knew it wasn't Caitlin and Sky, said the waiter at the Sunset Tower Hotel. Caitlin was just in a few weeks ago and couldn't have been sweeter. I felt so bad for the girl. Laura and Ava are really out to get her. Don't we know it? And we can't wait to see what happens next. Chapter 5. Pucker up. Okay, so school isn't actually done for Liz. She's not there yet. So she surprises Caitlin by showing up for the weekend to start unpacking and gets to hang out with her bestie. She's so excited to see her best friend. But like, Caitlin is currently best friending it up with Sky. And so their plot for the rest of this book is them like bitching about who's really Caitlin's best friend and all that. And I like this. I felt that this was well deserved. That like Sky and Caitlin have kind of they're trauma bonded to each other. They have gone through the pits together. And so the idea of them finally being mature enough to see each other as equals and as friends is really rewarding. And also, Sky did some deeply irredeemable shit as the villain of the first 2 books in the series. So, I get Liz's apprehension. But Caitlin and Sky will always be linked through their time at FA together. Liz and Caitlin could grow apart and have attempted to do so at many points. So, it's not that far-fetched for Liz to be a little pissed that her friend's enemy is just a part of the crew now. But I like Sky. I like a character like reading the writing on the wall and being like, no one understands me but you. But you know, I love a villain reformed. I love a bad boy turned main love interest. I think people contain multitudes. They're at a Vanity Fair event. This doesn't really have anything to do with anything, but I do think it's funny. As we step out of the car, Liz yanks my arm and stares at my feet. Caitlin Burke? Are you wearing a flats? I blush. You never wear flats to events. That's because we drive everywhere in LA, I remind her. Here I do a lot of walking. I had to walk 15 blocks in my Manolos the other night. My feet haven't stopped aching since. Nadine warned me not to wear heels everywhere, but I didn't listen to her. I thought she just wanted me to look like one of those business women we see power walking by us in the morning in suits and Uggs or sneakers. I told Nadine that I was willing to suffer for fashion and wouldn't succumb to the rubber soles. But that was before my driver got stuck in a jam on West 4th Street for 45 minutes and I decided to hoof it home instead. It was torture. The upside to walking around New York is that it's impossible to get lost. I love how the streets are linear and on most of the blocks are numbered. And it's amazing that you could stand at the end of 5th Avenue and stare all the way uptown. I don't care how much my feet hurt. I'm never wearing flats, Liz declared and wiggled her plum manicured toes. You're not wearing flats to the junior prom, are you? I just love the idea of just being like, like, I'm sorry, I'm different here. There are consequences to my actions. The like, lost in New York, John Mulaney bit. How? Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. I doubt it. The streets are numbered. Hollywood secret number 5. Riley may have theater terms, but we movie actors have our own terms too. A honey wagon is a discrete term for the crew's portable toilet truck, and dressing the camera means placing an object or a person in the best spot to be seen on camera. There are tons of other terms that would take all year for me to tell you, but some of my favorite are Doris Day parking, the best parking spots on the lot. Perrier meeting, a meeting that only lasts until a person's Perrier is gone. Twin T's or Twin Peaks, a shot that is framed from the chest up. A shower curtain, a large clear sheet used to soften lights. Take that, Riley, because she doesn't know all the theater terms and she's feeling embarrassed. Riley just embarrassed her. She's not from here. Girl, what's your damage? Sky appears and is like, no one's going to make fun of my friend. And just like absolutely bitches. It's just like Mean Girls out on Riley. Bye, Riley. Bye, Dill. See you Monday. Dill asks, his face totally calm and relaxed, as if he kisses other people's significant others every day of the week. Oh yeah, I guess we both do. We're actors. At rehearsal, then maybe the monkey bars. The monkey bar? Rehearsal? Yes, I tell him. See you then. Dylan's like, do you want to go to this bar with me? And she's like, maybe. But she's, dedicated to her man. Dedicated to her man. Caitlin has to film a kissing scene with the boy, and so, that gets her all in a tizzy. And you know what we're not talking about? Austin. Sorry. I don't know. I think you should break up with your boyfriend over the summer. If you're not going to be in town, or he's not going to be in town, break up with your boyfriend over the summer. It is not worth the heartbreak of being like, ugh. You were on a break. Ross and Rachel, baby. 6. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. Back on set. This is where we get you've only seen The Lion King. They start talking about Gypsy, which is, the big hotness on Broadway this year, if you didn't know, and that's fun. It's too bad meeting of the minds already open. Dylan snaps me out of my thoughts. You could really use the gypsy robe. I read about the gypsy rose. Should I be saying the word gypsy? I read about the G robe. I tell him excitedly. It's one of the few books that I read about the Great White Way. Broadway secret number 6. The ritual of the G robe occurs in the opening night of a Broadway musical right before the curtain goes up. The whole cast and members of production get together on the stage and form a circle. In the center is a performer who's supposed to be representative of the actor's equality and a former recipient of the ritual from the last musical that opened on Broadway. The performer holds a gorgeous decked out robe that has memorabilia from past musicals all over it. The recipient of the robe is usually someone from the chorus who has performed the most Broadway shows and embodies the quality of Broadway. G, someone who's dedicated, is professional and has a seasoned career. The hope is that the robe brings luck and charm to the play's opening night. Oh, Dylan, you're so sweet. Austin calls. I summoned him back into the plot, but you know what's going to happen. They're going to have miscommunications. They're not going to be able to text each other. In fact, Caitlin is going to call him at one point and a different girl is going to answer the phone. And when she's like, why is a girl in your dorm? Why is your penis on a dead girl's phone? He's gonna get all defensive. And we've done this song and dance before. Here, baby. I know the steps. They're stupid. Caitlin's doing all the late night shows. She's gonna be on Fallon. They get a call. Oh no. When I open the car door, I hear wailing that would rival any passing cop car siren. I look inside and see Nadine in the backseat with her arm around Sky. Her long black hair is sort of frizzy and her nose is all red and her skin is blotchy. Very unlike Sky, who never steps outside without at least concealer and bronzing powder. Even Rodney looks worried about her. What happened? I asked. Nadine's face is grim. Sky's show got the axe. That makes Sky cry harder. I mean, it was put on hold indefinitely. Sky begins to hiccup. She showed up at the apartment looking for you and insisted she come meet you here. I slide next to Nadine and put my arm awkwardly around Sky. She pulls the shoulder of my tee and uses it as a tissue. I guess I can't risk getting anything on one of her one-of-a-kind Nicole Miller magenta silk sundresses. I know it's one of a kind because she tells me every time she wears it. I let my shirt be a tissue as a tissue thing aside. Sky, I'm so sorry. I rub her back. What happened? Reporter, that's right. Grady is fighting with the network about location, budget, everything. He threatened to pull the plug, so they did it for him. We're off the schedule. She buries her face in my shoulder, sending snot all over my tank top. Ew. I don't know what to do. Sky continues, getting hysterical. She looks at me with her big dark eyes, her chandelier earrings dangling as the car moves. What do you do when your career is in free fall? I don't know. You must know. Yours is in free fall for a while. Sky snaps. I look at Nadine. She's trying not to laugh. If you're gonna get snippy, then you can cry somewhere else. What do you do? Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. She'll end up on her feet. But Sky is now going to be hanging around New York for a little bit longer because where she's going to go. And Caitlin's kind of her support system. The story in the background that is not really covered, because it doesn't really need to be covered, is that Sky's support system kind of fucking sucks. So she needs Caitlin. Caitlin doesn't really need her because Caitlin's got a support system that works, but she needs her. On Friday, Caitlin's flying back to LA for prom, and then SNL week starts after that. Celebrity Insider Online. Psst, everything you're not supposed to know about Tinseltown's fave. Will Caitlin Burke sink her Broadway show? She wowed us on Family Affair, smoked the big screen in Pretty Young Assassins, and is known by fellow stars as one of the sweetest actresses there is today. Is there anything Caitlin Burke can't do? Broadway, maybe. Sources close to Meeting of the Minds production are worried that Caitlin's first part on The Great White Way may be her last. While Caitlin is working hard at rehearsal and is wonderful with both the cast and the crew, she recently delivered pizza for the entire cast after they finished a rehearsal. Some say she doesn't have what it takes to do live theater. She has no clue how to take direction or connect with the live audience, and her stage presence is way off, says one. If she doesn't improve, I fear the show may end its run early. There's no way people will pay to see Caitlin butcher the role that Meg Valentine made famous. Could celebrities be getting in the way of Caitlin's work ethic? Since moving to New York, Caitlin has been on the scene a lot. She recently attended Operation Read America event at the Waverly Inn and has taken in several plays like Wicked and Mary Poppins and has been seen on The Town with co-star Dylan Custer. See picture of Caitlin and Dylan kiss at the Operation Read America event. Caitlin is lovely, Dylan said when he was reached for comment, and she's going to be brilliant in the show. Biased opinion? Guess we'll just have to wait and see for ourselves. That's the thing, is Meg Burke has to make sure the bills are paid and has to make sure that Caitlin's star rises. But it's like she can't see that her daughter is crying out for help and needs a break. And that it probably doesn't look good if your daughter has a panic disorder that put her in the actual hospital. And your response isn't to pull back on some of the events so that she's not as stressed. You just continue to push on like you're gonna force it to work. You can't force it. She does force it until Caitlin's 18th birthday. The literal minute Caitlin turns 18, she's gonna freak the fuck out. 7, it's good to be home, even if it's for less than 48 hours. So they go to, she gets pizza from her lovely favorite pizza place from the other 4 books. Her hairstylist from Family Affair. Paul is doing her hair. It's prom time. And because her mom's not there, she can see whatever she wants. Hollywood secret number 7. People always want to know how it's possible for celebs to gain a few pounds when they have trainers, personal chefs, and money for any vegan, organic, gluten-free diet they want to try. My latest trainer, Ogla Emerkin, isn't afraid to tell the cold hard truth to anyone who asks. You can work celebrities to the bone, give them all the perfectly portioned packaged meals in the world, and tell them every workout and diet trick in the world, but you can't watch them 24/7. Even celebs have moments of weakness, like now. And Olga is not here to stop me from having this 3rd slice of pizza, or from gulping down that gooey chocolate chip cookie Dylan brought me the other day at rehearsal. She can't hold my hand, or rather slap it, every minute of the day. And celebs, just like everyone else in this world, are human. We have cravings too. The hunger. She's got to do SAT prep because, again, Nadine really wants Caitlin to try and go to college and get, something else out of this life besides acting and taking care of her mom. That is the issue. Is if Caitlin was just doing this for Caitlin, hedonistic living for Caitlin's sake, then it would be for Caitlin. But it's not for Caitlin. It's the fact that her parents are piggying back. Her dad is a producer on only her movies because that's the only one he can get productions for. Her brother now works, so he's finally off the hook, but now it's spread across the 2 of them. Her mom just works her to fucking death. Liz tells Caitlin that Sky's only hanging out because she has no job, and that's rude. They're bonded by trauma. Duh. Caitlin tells Liz that she's only gonna be here until after SNL, and then she'll leave. And she's like, you brought a promise. And she's like, I'm sure, but I've read the whole book. She's around. Dylan mails Caitlin some cupcakes as she develops the wrong idea about what's happening. He's just a nice guy. Austin is apparently bent out of shape about Dylan. So she's not going to save him a cupcake. Caitlin has things that she has to do. Caitlin has things that she wants to do. And those things aren't always, I'm checking to make sure my mic is on, always compatible. Considering her mom keeps calling people to tell her that she's gonna come and meet. Lainey appears. I love Lainey. Who can find out what? I nearly jump out of my skin. Anita, who's washing dishes, screams and picks up a soapy frying pan, spraying bubbles and water everywhere, ready to hit the intruder, who's whipping around the corner into the room from the next door. The intruder stops short at Anita's cast iron weapon and screams. In less than 2 seconds, she has her mace out and is ready to miss the room. Thankfully, Rodney grabs the can before she can strike. Are you people trying to give me a heart attack? Lainey bellows, pulling her arm away from Rodney. Why are you all here? She clutches her beige Chanel purse to her chest and takes big gulping breaths. Anita, realizing who it is, quickly says something in Spanish and then rushes to make Lainey a cup of tea. Paul scurries over and fans Lainey's face with a handheld mirror, and strands of Lainey's long, straight hair begin to fly around. You're gonna have to fix my flyaways, Lainey tells Paul, who immediately stops. I just had my hair Brazilian straightened. But your hair was already straight, Liz can't help reminding Lainey. Lainey glares at her. Lainey, why are you yelling? True. Lainey brings over the Hollywood piece that I read at the beginning, being like, oh my god, maybe she's gonna be ass shit, straight up shit from a butt. What's his name? Porter? The androgynous enigma Porter got fucking sepsis on Cabaret, so I had to step away, but like, we all had to pretend like they weren't bad. Billy Porter. Time for prom. For her to return back to her time at whatever the Clark Hall. So many LA high schools for me to just like chart out on the board. There's a cupcake that she gets to try. They were supposed to go together. I think she went with Dylan. He's pissed. She hopes that she gets to go to one of their games in Texas on one of her days off. Nadine sends over her schedule for the next however long, and it's Monday, rehearsal for the play. 3 is a meeting for SNL. 5 is her mom's charity dinner. Tuesday is 10 a.m. rehearsal for the play. 2 p.m. is photo shoot for play coverage. 3:30 is interview with Dylan Riley for 17. 5 is fitting for SNL, followed by a photo shoot for SNL. Wednesday is rehearsal for play. SNL weekly read-through. Thursday, early rehearsal. 1 p.m. is SNL rehearsal for larger skits. And shooting promos. 9:45 p.m. interview with Playbill for Meeting of the Mind, followed by an interviews with People, Entertainment Weekly, and Teen Vogue. And those all have Sky attached to them. Friday's rehearsal for the play and SNL blocking. 7 p.m. photo shoot for Teen Vogue. Saturday is SNL run through in the morning. 4 p.m. arrive back at SNL for final prep. 7:45 dress rehearsal for SNL. 11:35 p.m. live show. 2 p.m. SNL after party, McCormick and Schmick's seafood restaurant, and Sunday is her day of rest. When will this girl ever get to stop suffering? Not today. Chapter 8, live from New York. It's Saturday night, which as a SNL child, I wish I had read this when it came out, because I did read the other books as they came out. I did not know about this book. As an SNL child, I love this. The girls are in the middle of prep in between skits, and it's just perfect. 10 minutes later, the two of us are singing and tap dancing on stage in our giant Skittles costumes, a tiny yapping Pomeranian standing in for Ava's equally yappy dog, Kalu, howls along on a command next to us. The song's absolutely hysterical, if I do say so myself. The writers came up with this biting ditty that makes Lauren and Ava sound like total paparazzi crazed airheads, which, well, they are. Our number is supposed to be a Skittles commercial that Lauren and Ava have signed on to do because they're cash strapped now that the reality show has bitten the dust. The funniest part is that the bit that Lauren and Ava don't realize that the song they're singing is not just about candy, it's about themselves. At the last minute, legal made us change the name of the candy from Skittle to Skirtles to avoid any lawsuits from the candy company. I wouldn't want my product compared to Lauren and Ava either. At the end of the skit, everyone is on the soundstage actually gives us a huge round of applause, which only gets me more pumped for the night. I know I'm trying to be nice and calm and not like catty like they are, but I have to admit, it's fun to slip into the girls' barely worn shoes for a few minutes. And Sky kills us Ava. Afterwards, we get ready to do our dress rehearsal in front of a live audience. Hollywood secret number 8, Saturday Night Live, is actually taped in front of a dress rehearsal audience and then airs live in front of a different studio audience a few hours later. The dress rehearsal audience sort of serves as last-minute testers of each skit. If the number gets no laughs or bombs, then it could be pulled entirely. Every number can get tweaked up until the last second on the show. On occasion, encore showings of an episode are different from the original broadcast that air that night. If something goes majorly wrong during the live broadcast, a musical act goes off the deep end and does something censorable, a comic curses, or a number of plays better in dress rehearsal, it may be replaced with the dress rehearsal version in later showings. Sky is all up in Caitlin's cell as she's getting texts from bestie Liz and boyfriend Austin and flirtatious Dylan. Is she going to the after party? Why does him asking that set her heart aflutter? He's just being nice. And is it cheating to go to an after party with a coworker? Maybe. I don't know anymore, to be honest. To quell herself, she calls Austin, and Austin gives her a less than spectacular answer. I don't think he's gonna be able to watch it. And he's gonna call her in the morning about it. They do their monologue, and they're hosting together Mary-Kate and Ashley style. How cute. I think Caitlin's so stiff and so strict. I could see her being the less popular of the two. Nebraska. They do their talkie, and it's so great. Now it's time for the after party. Caitlin realized she does have like a teensy weensy little crush on Dilly. TV Tome, the new queens of Saturday night, Caitlin Burke and Sky Mackenzie. Week of June 22nd by TV Tome critic Braden Jones. If you caught Saturday Night Live this past week, and many of you obviously did since the ratings spiked 21%, you might have been surprised to find yourself laughing along with and not at this week's host. After being both praised and reviled in the tabloids for years, teen queens Caitlin Burke and Sky Mackenzie, a family affair, turned the tables on America by poking fun at themselves. From the moment their opening monologue started, a hilarious bit about the two who famously hate each other, claiming they don't hate each other. Even as they were griping at one another, we knew we were in for a rare treat. The girls didn't disappoint in the 90-minute show, if you count out a weak game show skit about airhead cheerleaders. They cleverly mocked their octogenarian selves in an FA nursing home skit, played obnoxious paparazzi in another, and proved they could sing in the best skit of the night, a Skirtles commercial in which they played their enemies, socialites Ava Hayden and Lauren Cobb. The SNL writers struck gold with that ditty, but they can't take all the credit. The idea stems from a blog Sky and Caitlin wrote listening to Ava and Lauren to Skittles candy. Sweet, but then you get too much of them and you feel sick. The foursome have been fighting via the media for a month now, and it seems as though everyone has a side, with Team Scat, t-shirts popping up on teens from Times Square to the Grove. Lauren and Ava must have a meltdown over that skit since it captured their TV personas perfectly. Sky was brilliant at the notorious paparazzi-obsessed Hayden, using hair flips to her full advantage, and while Caitlin made a worthy Cobb, she sparkled even more in a skit where she played a 1950s B-movie queen heroine fleeing from an army of ants. The best part of the show, where the pair were on screen together, proving to this TV critic what so many of us already know. Like each other or not, the two belong back on TV together. Television producers, hear my plea. Cast Sky and Caitlin on a sitcom before someone else snatches them up. We get some more of the plot of Meeting of the Minds. Chapter 9, The Calm Before the Storm. They're prepping for the big part of the show. The moment is exactly what the moment you think it is. And even after rehearsing it for 2 weeks, I still can't help getting jumpy beforehand. My hands get clammy, my forehead sweats, and I feel like I'm going to pass out from the nerves. Dylan walks across the stage towards me. The View, they're going to get to perform a scene from the show on The View, and Riley offers Caitlin some more backhanded compliments. What scene? Someone asks. Forrest looks from us to one of the producers. Andy's breakthrough, the scene with Andy and Leo. Uh-oh, this won't go over well. I sneak a peek at Riley's direction. Riley's face is as pink as her sweater. That's a brilliant scene, Forrest, Riley agrees, surprisingly. But don't you think Caitlin would fare better with more company on stage? Caitlin works best when she has a group to support her. She's British, but you know I don't do accent work, so she's British. She's bitches. That's a backhanded compliment if I've ever seen one. The View wants Caitlin. Forrest is completely unapologetic. She's the face America knows, and she's giving our show a face. The scene I picked is Caitlin's best moment. He looked at me. It truly is. Your emotions are raw and your words run deep. It's a valuable showcase of your work. So no one can take down Caitlin's shine, because the adults in her life like her. She's so eldest daughter coded. Sky calls Caitlin in a panic and is like, girl, I'm thinking about doing Dancing with the Stars or Celebrity Apprentice. And Caitlin's like, girl, chill. We just had the best, publicity pump push of our life. The good roles will come. Be chill, diva. And be chill, diva, she tries. She tries. Hollywood secret number 9. Just because you're a star doesn't mean you make money on a reality show. There are some where you can make an okay paycheck, like, I can't believe I'm going to say this, Dancing with the Stars. Rude. It's great. Seth told me he had a client who got an initial payout of $125,000 to appear, and then between $10,000 and $50,000 for every week you survived elimination. I love that for the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives girls. I love that for them. But there's our shows like Celebrity Apprentice where the stars get paid next to nothing. Same with The Bachelor. which I hear only covers housing while a person is off doing the show. Too bad there isn't a celebrity bachelorette yet. Sky would love that gig. Maybe Ava and Lauren really need, because Sky is absolutely a Taylor Frankie Paul. Hot mess brunette, fun and sexy. And of course Celebrity Apprentice doesn't pay shit. Donald Trump is a shyster. He's a little shyster. She's like trying to talk her off the ledge. Be like, girl, do not take that role. You do not need it. You're too good for that. Which is like shitty, but she is too good for it. Liz is sad because everyone in her film class are like snobby art house assholes who don't respect her because she came from LA. This workshop is tougher than I thought it would be. Liz sighs and plays with a half dozen gold bangles on her wrist. Maybe I'm wrong. What if I'm wrong about NYU? What if I can't cut it? Liz asked seriously. There are some great writing programs and directing workshops on the West Coast too, you know? Maybe I should look at some colleges closer to home. Did your brain just fry from the hot salsa? I sound startled, I know it. You wanted to come east forever. Now that I'm east, I just think I'm more of a West Coast girl. Do you think that's bad? I'm definitely a West Coast girl, I realize. I love it here, but it's exhausting. But I haven't loved NYU forever either, the way you do. Hey, at least you're trying it now rather than calling your dad freshman year and begging him to let you come home. That's a good point. So, Austin is appearing at some point. He will fly in on Friday. His mom and Haley are meeting him here. Mom suggesting that they stay at the Soho Grand, which I'm not so sure about is Meyer style, but hey, at least it's really nice. Sky promised to look after them since I'll be busy on Friday. And they don't leave until Monday afternoon, so during the day I'll have loads of time to show them around. Except Saturday when I have a matinee and the night performances. But other than that, you're totally free. So she wants to ask him, Austin, what he wants, what his sister and mom would want for brunch on Sunday. And she calls him, and a girl answers, and she's like, oh, I must have the wrong number. She's like, oh, are you calling for Austin or Rob? And she's like, I'm calling for Austin. And then she calls out for A, and he's not here. And then she's like, call back in 5. They're giggling, and she's like, can I leave him? Anna. Caitlin isn't Anna. Can I leave a message? I snap without realizing. Tell Austin his girlfriend called. Fine, it's childish, but I'm playing the girlfriend card. I'm staking my claim. I didn't know A had a girlfriend, the girl says, causing me to get even madder. It's Caitlin, I tell her, trying to stay calm. You just tell him I called. No problem, Katrine, she says, and then hangs up before I get the chance to correct her. Messy. More meeting of the minds. Stuff. What is halfway between? It's 5. It is time for her first go about. It's quiet in the theater. You could hear a pin drop. I hear someone cough, but I tune out the sound. My eyes are on Riley, aka Jenny, and this is one of the biggest moments in the play. I'm trying not to think about the fact that the fact that the audience is jammed with people I know tonight. My parents, Maddie, Liz, Sky, who acted indignant when I asked if she wanted a ticket. Of course I want a ticket. Nadine, Rodney, Lainey, and Seth are seated in a box on the right side of the theater. In the second row center are Austin, his mom, and his sister, Haley. A few rows behind them are my friends Gina, Taylor, Miley, and Vanessa. Page 6 said Lauren and Ava were going to crash the show, but for a setup, security keep them out in case the rumors were true. Someone told me Kelly Ripa is here, but I haven't seen her. The Gossip Girl cast is supposedly here as well, but I'm trying not to think about that either. The most important thing I have to do right now is concentrate on the moment. It's her opening night! She's a Broadway star! They're doing great. They love her. It's in the middle of the show. They're chit-chatting. They're like, you've got 5 minutes, but you're gonna be great. You're gonna knock the rest of it out of the park. The second act flies by, and I can't believe it's time for me to stand in the middle of the stage and take a bow. I'm holding hands with Dylan and Riley and the rest of the cast, and the audience is going wild. There are even people standing. A standing ovation. I look for Austin, see he's whistling. Then I look up at my family and friends to see that they're smiling and clapping. Dylan is handing me a huge bouquet of flowers since it's my opening night, and I bow again to even more applause. What a rush. I feel like the First Lady. Put Caitlin in O'Mary. Put Caitlin in O'Mary! And then the curtains fall again and everyone backstage is hugging and congratulating me and my head is completely spinning. I thank everyone for helping me get through my first night, even Riley. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll be stronger tomorrow. I hug Forrest to talk to everyone in the chorus and make my way to the dressing area to change into my party dress. It as much as a success. We will hear the reviews, but she's pretty middling, and that's all she needs to be. It's her first time. She doesn't need to be perfect. Even though Caitlin's character flaw as far to me is that she's too perfect. Hollywood secret number 10. If you want to get up close and personal with your favorite actor, seeing them in a Broadway show might be one of the best ways to do it. Most actors emerge from a side entrance of the theater, never the front door where the crowds are. Take a few minutes to sign autographs or pose for pictures before they jump into a waiting car. They usually do this the night after every show they perform in. Seth told me it's a great way to appear as down to earth as the rest of the cast. I like to think of it as a way of giving back to the fans who shell out anywhere from $40 to sometimes $200 for a ticket. Yay! Austin comes backstage with her, and they're having such a good time. And she's like, hey, what's up with this girl? And he's like, me and Rob are mostly just friends. It never even occurred to me to be on a team school and a local one. Who is the time? I play with the uneven hem of my dress, feeling purposefully frayed edges of the fabric. You practice every afternoon. When would you work with the other team? I know, but I guess that's what I'll have to do next year. I'm lucky the local league had room for me, you know? So he's going to be doing more sports. You signed for the other league? Yeah, I told you about that. Austin gives me a strange look. One of the coaches is the coach of the summer camp, so I had an in. No, you didn't. I know I'm being argumentative and ungrateful and ungracious, but I can't stop it from coming out of my mouth. Things were so perfect a second ago. They're just like, and she's like, well, I guess I'll just be able, I guess if you're not going to have time for me, I guess I'll just hang out with my co-star. He can help me with my lines. He's like, as long as that's the only thing helping you with. Is Austin jealous? No way. He's not the type. I don't think so, I assure him, even though a tiny voice in my back of my head is screaming, Dylan is interested in you. So Hollywood Nation has this one wrong. He doesn't have a major crush on you. Austin asked slowly. They wrote that? How did I miss that article? Nadine usually shares that kind of stuff with me. There's nothing going on there. I protest a little too strongly, and Austin looks at me oddly. Okay, even if Dylan is interested, I'm not. I just think he's cute and charming and very considerate. My heart belongs to you, she says out loud, and he says, good. Ugh. They bicker back and forth, but she's here now. And she's like, hey, what the fuck is up about this girl? Actually, is it Haley? While we're kissing, I feel a vibration on my leg and pull out my phone out of my jacket pocket and stare at it strangely. My phone isn't even on. It must be yours. Austin pulls his phone out and his suit jacket and looks at the screen before breaking into a wide smile. Then he starts texting. Ew. Is that Haley? I ask casually. Tell her we'll find a time to hit Bloomingdale's while you guys are here. Actually, it's someone from camp. Austin is still texting. This girl Amanda I'm friends with, she wanted to know how your show went. Amanda. She didn't happen to answer your phone the other day when I called, did she? I know I said I wouldn't bring it up, but I can't help myself. Austin gave me an in. Austin looks up, confused. When did you call? And I didn't answer. The other day. I tried to sound nonchalant. I wanted to check on brunch reservations, but this girl answered and acted like she didn't know who I was. Austin nods. If it was Amanda, she was probably confused. She's been hanging out with us a lot. She just broke up with her boyfriend, Kevin, who's also at camp, and she's been pretty upset about it. We can't get her off our couch, he laughs. But if it was her, I don't get why she didn't know you. I talk about you all the time. He looks worried, which makes me worried. Is he worried because there's something going on, or worried because he thinks I'll be mad? He's not flirting with this girl. He's spending a lot of time with her. Is he? Because that's so wrong. It's wrong, but is it the same thing I'm doing with Dylan? Many moral quandaries. HollywoodPrivateEyes.com. Hollywood can't make a move without us watching. Caitlin Burke Goes Broadway. Tuesday, June 30th. A totally biased review by self-professed #1 Burke fan, Carly Asiago, age 16. No one was more excited to see Caitlin Burke take to stage than me, but there were plenty of others in the audience who seemed pretty stoked to be there too. Caitlin had a huge turnout for her debut, including her parents, her security, her cute boyfriend, with his mom, his sister, and some of Caitlin's friends like Vanessa Hudgens and Taylor Swift, who gave me an autograph. Kelly Ripa was also there with 2 of her 3 kids, but let's go to the show itself. The story's awesome. They totally nail how it feels to be in high school and deal with peer pressure. I love how they talk about the different high school cliques and what it's like to be an outsider. Caitlin actually cries on stage at one point and has to kiss a boy, Leo, played by Mr. McHottie, Dylan Custer, and has to display a huge range of emotions that are pretty tough to do. I don't care what the New York Post says about Caitlin's lack of stage presence. This girl can act, and she wasn't wooden at all. Caitlin expresses all her emotions perfectly, just like she did on Family Affair. I especially like the part where Caitlin, Andy, realizes that her crush on Leo is really just a high school crush and that it might be too late for them to have a chance now high school's over. That was the hard part to watch, but completely true, because sometimes when you love someone, you have to let them go, because you know it will never work out. I would suggest that critic from the Post go back and watch Caitlin again. That guy from Newsday too, who said Caitlin shows potential but needs to work harder at commanding the stage rather than fearing it. If they had seen Caitlin the second and third night, like I did, they would have seen how much more comfortable she was up there. Everyone has opening night jitters. I know I did when we performed Spring Awakening last year at my school. So in conclusion, I just want to say that Caitlin is a great actress whether she's on TV, in movie, or up on stage. I'd watch her do a Tide commercial if it was the only way I got to see her. But for now, she's here, in the flesh, performing every night for New York City. If you're a Caitlin fan, you don't want to miss it. Get tickets now. Hollywood Nation Online Scoop Patrol. Ava Hayden and Lauren Cobb get their revenge. The gruesome twosome Lauren Cobb and Ava Haydenson, nickname given to them by Sky Mackenzie on Twitter, got their own SNL-type revenge last night when they hosted Caitlin Brick and Sky and Mackenzie Boo Fest. Boo Fest was their way to pull apart Caitlin and Sky's work in the same harsh manner they did to Ava and me, said Lauren Cobb at the event. The pair invited 30 of their closest friends to Hollywood Forever Cemetery in Los Angeles to join them in bashing Scat's work against the backdrop of mausoleums and tombstones. Lava aired a key Family Affair episode, a pirated scene with both girls from PYA, illegal video from Meeting of the Minds, which is confiscated by cops after its airing, and Sky's now never to be seen fall pilot. During each video, Lava took the mic to critique the actress's work and invited the others to boo or throw trash at the screen. Ava even took to throwing tomatoes when either girl was shown. Others, like party boy Finn Grable, just heckled. Alexis Hold'em, who also was on the guest list, felt it was only fair that Caitlin and Sky received the same treatment they dished out. Ava and Lauren were mortified by the girls' appearance on SNL, said Alex. What they did was so cool, added another partygoer who wanted to remain nameless. There are so many people who can't stand Caitlin or Sky either, so it was nice to get them some payback, if you know what I mean. Even we had some folks in New York, who shall remain nameless, who wanted to be here but couldn't. They said they could definitely join us the next time we get together. Everyone got the biggest kick out of watching Caitlin do a scene from her Broadway show. She's awful, and I'm sure this will be her first and last stage appearance. In the spirit of bashing, the girls also handed out Team Lava Teas, courtesy of StarsLikeUs.com. As a part of the night's Boo Fest gift bag, we got a lot of support and positive feedback from tonight's event, said Ava, holding her dog, Kalu, who was ripping a picture of Sky and Caitlin to shreds with his teeth. If those two want to get nasty, we can get even nastier. This feud is far from over. 11. Reality bites. Caitlin's mom is weird about food in her body. Caitlin's mom is like, oh my god, you should come to the Hamptons and do a thing with me for the 4th of July. And Caitlin's like, girl, I've got a schedule to stick to. She's like, well, you could do it. It's only a 3-hour car ride, if that. So if you have to travel a little, who cares? You'll be completely relaxed once you get there. Nadine rolls her eyes, but neither of us say anything. Meg, I think she's being wise to rest up while she's in town. Seth continues readjusting his yellow pocket square in his theory suit. Lainey and I have been talking. We both agree. Caitlin is in the best position she could be in right now. Everyone's still buzzing about SNL stint, and her Broadway reviews aren't too shabby. Meg is always trying to move to the next, even if it hurts her daughter, so she bullies Caitlin into going out to the Hamptons for the 4th of July, and then is like, you can go shopping all you want if you do it. Okay, I'll come to your event on Saturday. I give in, and Mom shrieks and claps happily. But I'm not coming out Monday and Tuesday as well. It's too much. Fine, Mom agrees. It's at 11 a.m. We can have the car pick you up at 7, and we'll be back by 4:30. At the latest, it's going to be a wonderful day. Darling Daisy's teamed up with Sun and at the shore, and we're having the Jonas Brothers and Selena Gomez plant seeds. You can do it too. I side-eye Lainey, and she nods ever so slightly. Fine, I mumble and take another yummy bite of my breakfast to wash down my distaste. Hollywood secret number 11. Pay or play offers are pure gravy deals in Hollywood. When an actor, director, or producer is offered this, it means you're wanted so badly for the project that they'll pay you regardless of whether a movie even gets made. They'll even pay if you get replaced before production begins. It's a big deal. It's a show, and it's sort of like Gossip Girl meets 90210 meets Greek meets Ugly Betty meets set in a supernatural meets Lost meets Survivor type environment. We'll take it. Lainey, Nadine, and I say, Mom says, we'll take it. At the same time, Lainey, Nadine, and I say, I don't get it. It's confusing, Seth hesitates, as always ignoring Mom over me. That man's a pro. But worth reading the script. It tripped me up a few times too, but it sounds like a groundbreaking material. Groundbreaking material that covers several shows that have already been done, Nadine mutters under her breath, and I giggle. I'll read the scripts this week, I promise. There's something else I should mention. Seth sounds a bit unsure this time. It's a cable TV show, a sitcom actually, about 6 college freshmen become tight and wind up best friends. It's tentatively called Little Fish, Big Pond. Get it? I've heard of this. I lean forward, being careful not to let my yellow dress get bathed in maple syrup. Gina mentioned it. Everyone wants it on this pilot. It's for mid-season. I heard Scarlett read for it. Miley, Selena, everyone wants it. Well, they're looking for 2 girls to play roommates who battle but become good friends. They're thinking of 2 people in particular, you and Sky. Yeah. Well, fucking bitch-made mom is gonna argue it the entire way through, so whatever. Caitlin tries to call Austin again, and some girl answers, Hi, Amanda. I try to sound very grown-up and worldly. It's Caitlin. Is Austin there? I've tried to delicately tell Austin how it bothers me to hear Amanda answer the phone, but it's either he's oblivious or he doesn't care. I don't want to get too crazy either since we're on such good terms after his New York weekend. I'm trying not to sound jealous, but it's hard when Austin keeps bringing Amanda up and telling me what a big help she is. Amanda from Texas, and she went to camp the year before, so she knows the ropes. Camp tour guide or not, I'm not happy about her playing phone cop. Oh, hey, Caitlin, Amanda sings. I hear some snort in the background. Austin just ran down to the cafe to get us some drinks. Can you tell him to call me back? I asked, trying to sound pleasant, even as I yell over 2 cabs. It's important. Sure thing. Listen, can I ask you something? Amanda says as someone's whispering something that I can't understand. What's your last name? Burke. My name is Caitlin Burke. So it is you. We saw your picture in A's room. Pam and I were looking at it earlier, and she said that that's the girl from Family Affair, but I said nah. A would not have told us. He says Caitlin. He never brags about who you are. So you live in Hollywood and stuff? And stuff, I answer importantly. Really? Amanda sounds skeptical. Austin doesn't seem Hollywood enough to date a celebrity. Even if he does live in LA, he's so normal. He's so nice. I can hear someone else in the background. That must be Pam. Austin is so cool. Not Hollywoodish. Starstruck is not in his vocab, Amanda continues. I know that. I love that about him. Amanda and Pam start to giggle. Do you have a point? I can't help but snap. I don't need my boyfriend to describe me. More whispering. What are they, 2? Our point is, he's too good for you, Amanda says firmly, and Pam snorts. Well, that's not your decision to make. I'm getting loud. My ears are getting hot with embarrassment and anger. It's none of your business either. Tell Austin I called. Better yet, don't. I'll text him. I'm his girlfriend, so I don't need to go through you 2. I hang up and pressing end angrily. Nadine frowns. Bad call. Bad call. And I'm not sure it's the last one either. 12. Hitchhiking Hamptonites. I don't know if this one's truly important. It's like a mixture of things. So she gets there and she's like, oh my god, Dylan's here. At least I get to hang out with Dylan. And her mom has her doing this small fish shit. Caitlin's a star. She should not be having to do this, but Meg is so terrified of when the other shoe drops that she's just running her daughter ragged. She gets into an argument with Riley, and it kind of culminates in her kind of deciding that she's gonna go on a dinner date with Dylan. Fuck Riley. And Riley steals her car, her day car, So she now has to hitchhike back to Manhattan. It's an actual nightmare, panic-inducing kind of deal. Hollywood secret number 12. On set, lunch is usually not held during lunchtime. Lunch could be held during normal lunch hours, but it could also be served at 6 p.m. It depends on what the halfway point through the shooting day is. If you start work at 8 and you are ending at 4, then yeah, lunch is probably at the regular time. But if your shoot starts at 1 p.m. and ends at 11, then lunch is probably 6 p.m., even though it's technically dinner. Also, lunch is the only meal served on set. Breakfast is usually served from a truck, and Crafty has lots of snacks, but lunch is the only real meal. Of course, since it's the only real meal, there's an unwritten protocol about how you line up to get food. Cast lines up ahead of crew, the crew lines up ahead of any background people, the director can cut and go first, but usually he bands together with crew. At least our FA director, Tom Pullman, did. My Dylan, my Dylan, my Dylan. Caitlin is ready to leave. I roll my eyes, I have to get going. I scan the crowd for Sky and Liz, but I don't see either of them. Nadine and Rodney are MIA too. Where are they? It's almost 1:30. I guess I accidentally fell asleep for a bit. We have to leave by 2. Should call Nadine. I start texting her. Back to Manhattan for your little show, right? Ava sounds giddy. Oh, that's right. Ava's there. Ava gets rid of the car. Frankly, these bitches should be tried at The Hague. I want these bitches hung. I'm sick of them. They did cancel your car, but don't panic. We're going to call a few other car services right now. Don't move. They end up having to take a helicopter. I would never mess up the show, Riley says evenly. And with you not there, I won't be. Your understudy is superb. I start to panic. I'll call Dylan, I blurt out, but I don't want to use this card, knowing how she feels, but I have to. I'm desperate. He'll take me. He won't leave me here. Her smile is sort of creepy, just like the gap between her front teeth. That might have worked if he actually had a mobile with him. Though my stomach lurch, I know it's not from the weird daisy salad I tried. He forgot at his flat. Didn't he tell you when you were getting cozy on the beach? I start to blush. Well, gotta go. And don't think of following me and begging either. I'll tell Force you can't make it. I burst into tears and crumble against the valet stand. One of the valets has been watching our spat and he hands me a tissue. My entourage comes running. What happened? Scott says, didn't you get a ride? She wouldn't take me, I sobbed. She refused. I filled them in and quickly, in between huge gulps and blowing my nose. The valet continues to hand me tissues as I sob. Liz and Sky offer words of encouragement. Rodney's still on his cell phone and he's asking everyone at the party if they have a car we could borrow for 6+ hours, since that's the amount of time it would take to get to the car to Manhattan and then back out here without traffic. Groan. Excuse me, miss. I look up in the valet and I realize he's looking a lot like Maddie. Did you know this house has a helipad? Maybe you could take the helicopter back to Manhattan. The owner does it all the time, and I believe it's only a half-hour ride. I stop sobbing and look at the others. Sky breaks into a smile. Where's the owner? Nadine asks, grabbing the valet by his white polo. He's out back, says the guy startled. Cecil Corinne. Cecil Corinne. He's the short, pudgy guy in the cave tee. He loves that show you guys were both on, by the way. He does? Sky asks. His daughter actually, Tabitha, does. The guy says, never missed it. Guys, let's move. Nadine barks, her eyes wild. Caitlin, get your game face on. Sky, prepare to schmooze. Rodney, prepare to intimidate. We're hitching a ride on a helicopter to Manhattan. Nadine charges off and the rest of us follow as fast as our legs will take us. So for the price of going shopping with a rich dude's daughter, they get back in time. Fuck Riley. Austin doesn't call her. 13, lucky 13. Austin doesn't call her. She's pretty peeved. She's kind of frantic. She calls him. It's sunny here, 95. It's dreary and gross. We need to be in touch more, or else we'll just forget about each other and start spending all our free time with other people who are readily available and willing to hang out and make us laugh and help us with our problems, like I'm doing with Dylan. That's okay, though, because Dylan is a friend. Okay, maybe I have a slight crush on Dylan, but I don't like him. I just sort of like him. No! How can I sort of like Dylan? I love Austin. But Dylan's here, and he actually takes my phone calls. I want Austin to take my phone calls. What does that say about me? I can't handle a few months of separation from my boyfriend? We're never gonna survive college. What were you doing in the Hamptons on a work day, he asks. It's a long story. Too long and tiring for this phone call, I want to say. The bottom line is she left me stranded. She's never gotten over Dylan, even though she dumped him, and now he likes me, and she's mad at me, like that's my fault. Oh God, did I just say that out loud, that Dylan likes me? I don't have a boyfriend manual handy, but I don't think telling your boyfriend that another guy likes you is one topic of conversation you're supposed to avoid. I mean, she likes Dylan, I bow back. You said Dylan likes you, Austin says, sounding wide awake now. Did I say that? I say nervously. I meant Dylan likes Riley. No, I think you said Riley is mad because she used to go out with Dylan and Dylan likes you. Which is funny because that's what I've been saying to you all along, isn't it? I notice a slight edge in his voice. My heart starts to beat faster. I can't control what Dylan thinks, I say defensively. I know what I think, and I know I don't like Dylan as more than a friend. Liar, liar, pants for hire. Anyway, what about you? I asked. How was your scrimmage yesterday? It's a long story. I don't want to be a bother to you. I already talked to Amanda. That's okay, right? I mean, I'll just tell you some other time. Is Austin mocking me? Which is like crazy. I'm sorry. A bitch is answering your phone and you're mad at me? I'm sorry I'm polite to a coworker. You got a bitch answering your phones, blocking me from talking to you. Unacceptable behavior. They get out, they're in an argument, and they're like, oh my god, do you want to do the sitcom? And she's like, yeah, I like it. But only if Sky and I are a package deal. And her mom's like, no. But she's like, no, I want Kate. I want Sky. I want my homegirl. I want my tea whisperer. You guys have been so nice to Sky while she's been in New York. I remember the mom even said you liked her. As a person, but as a coworker for you, no, Mom says defensively. We'll be fighting again in a week. And then the stories will fall Celebrity Insider and Hollywood Nation. Feel migraine coming on just thinking about it. But what if... No! This has bad news written all over it. I don't care what Seth says. He's wrong. The next thing I hear is a bit of rustle, then Lainey's voice is sort of muffled. Hey, wait, no! I'm getting off now. You can't do this. This speech is public. I click. The Hollywood Secret, number 13. Even if you make $20 million a movie, you will make peanuts doing live theater. Stars who take the stage do it to broaden their acting range and for the prestige that comes with having your name in the playbill. They don't do it for a paycheck. Most stars, even big ones, are lucky to bring home $3,000 a week. A lot of the rest of the world, but not those who spend their disposable income on... A lot to the rest of the world, but not for those who spend their disposable income on Louis Vuitton luggage. If you're set on TV, we can look for some other shows if you want, but you're not repeating what's been done before. End of story. Click. I look at them both curiously and press play. I'm not surprised to see Lauren and Ava's faces staring back at me. They're introducing a clip that says Lucky Ladies. Then the clip goes animated. It's a cartoon about me and Sky with cutouts of our real faces on animated bodies. We're singing some weird song about what has-beens we are and how Sky's pilot was canceled and all I get is a part on Broadway for 3 months. Then they say how Family Affair was our last chance at stardom and now it's gone. Ouch. I hate them, Sky shrieks. Before I even finish the clip, she's visibly upset. I'm tired of this game. They're cruel and they're lame. I want out of this twisted drama. Sky looks at me darkly. Enough with this high road garbage, Kay. I've done my part bashing them, now it's your turn. It's going to take the two of us to take them down. I don't know, Nadine says. Do you really want to stoop to their level? She looks at Sky. I'm mad too. They have to be stopped, but adding more fuel to the fire is gonna... What's that gonna do? You're better than these games. Kay, think about the Hamptons. They could have cost you your job. Forrest wouldn't have fired her for missing the show, Nadine insists. He might have been mad, but he would have gotten over it. It wasn't her fault. Exactly, I say exasperated, but it still happened. Riley being mad at me because she likes Dylan isn't my fault either, but if I keep letting things slide, then she's going to keep being condescending, and it makes me feel like I don't deserve to be here. I'm sick of it, I yell, Nadine's eyes wider. I'm sick of Demanda and Austin sleeping through phone calls and Lauren and Ava using me and Sky to get on Access Hollywood. I'm tired of being nice. It doesn't get me anywhere. Yay! Yay, Kay! You're growing a backbone, Sky says proudly. Caitlin, you beat Riley at her own game when you made it in time for the show. Anyway, Nadine reminds me, I saw her face when we showed up here. She was flabbergasted. It's not enough. I want her to feel the way I feel sometimes. I want her to feel small and powerless for a change. I look at Sky. And Lauren and Ava too. And Austin, I add. What did Austin do? I don't want to talk about it right now. I turn away before I get upset before the show. 10 minutes to show. So she's like putting my pussy on the phone. So now it's just Sky and Caitlin together. And they're like, oh my god, we're so doing Big Fish, Small Pond together. It's incredible. They love it. She's gonna say yes because fuck her mom. She likes the show even if Caitlin's in it. Yay! She's into it. Sky's just into the show as I am, and it's cool the fact that we can be working together again. We have a shot here. This could work. She decides decides to call Austin 5 minutes before she goes on. I can't stand it. I'm calling Austin. It will just take a second. The cell phone rings twice and then it picks up. Austin? Nope, it's Amanda. She says it's loud wherever she is. I need to speak to my boyfriend. Sorry, Hollywood girl, he can't come to the phone. Put him on now! I insist. Ooh, getting angry, huh? Amanda laughs. Who's that? I hear Austin's voice. Your girlfriend. I told her you'd call her back, eh? He wants to speak to me, I tell her. She's in for it now. Austin won't let me push her off. He's probably as upset as I am, before as I am. I wait for him to pick up. Tell her I'll call her later, I think I hear him say, but his voice is kind of muffled and it's loud in the background and the connection isn't great. The old walls of this building are so thick. But I couldn't have just heard him say that. He wouldn't say that. He said he'd call you back. Bye, princess. Click. Kill him. Kill them both. Haig. 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 I hold my phone in my hand, dumbfounded. What exactly just happened? Why didn't Austin get on the phone? Why didn't he get on the phone with his girlfriend? The more I think about it, the angrier I get at Austin, even though I don't know what's going on. At Riley, at Ava, at Lauren, Mom, and Lainey for dismissing this TV show. I storm over to my spot backstage next to Riley and Dylan. Sky's right. Being nice gets you nowhere. I sense Dylan staring at me, even though Riley's watching us. I turn to him. Dylan, what are you doing tomorrow? Nothing. Why? I was wondering what you were doing for an early dinner. There's an Italian place I'm dying to try. Sounds lovely. Do they have good biscuits? I'm sure they can make a mean chocolate chip cookie. I don't know that, but I can see Riley is starting to squirm, so I keep going. Would you like to go with me? As your date? He asks curiously. I look at Riley. Her face is stricken. Brilliant. It's a date then. Someone calls Dylan's name and he turns to them. Don't you have a partner? Riley asks quietly. Only I can hear? That's none of your business. Not looking at her, I'm enjoying the effect this is having on her. My heart is pounding. I can't wait to go with Dylan, I gush. It's so romantic. Riley doesn't say anything, which just makes me want to make her more upset. Maybe I'll wear that cute little Kristen Siriano dress that he made for me. It's so short. Oh, and Riley, she turns to look at me. In the second act tonight, when we're doing the scene right before I run out to lockers, maybe go easy on your attitude. You're sort of overplaying the scene, and I'd hate for you to ruin things for the rest of us. Bitch! 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 T. I love that for her. Tonight I play Angie angrier than I've ever have before, but I'm pumped up and the audience doesn't seem to be too bothered by it. When I get off stage, I rest in my dressing room. The first thing I do is pick up my iPhone and dial. I don't think, I act. Austin, it's me, I say in his voicemail. Sorry you're so busy with Amanda that you can't take my call. I hope you two are having fun. I'm so sure Amanda is easy to have fun with, since she sounds like she's been hit dead in the head one too many times with a lacrosse ball. In case you need to talk to me more, I won't be around tomorrow. I'm having dinner alone. I'm having dinner alone with Dylan. This sweet little romance takes place. Maybe I'll catch you on Monday. Click. Take that, Austin. Take that, Demanda. Now it's time to fry Lauren and Ava. Scoop Patrol. Caitlin Burke calls Hollywood Nation to set the record straight about her feud. Fresh off the stage after another performance in Meeting of the Minds on Broadway, Caitlin Burke called a reporter from Hollywood Nation to talk about the severe injustice that is affecting both her and former co-star Sky McKenzie, aka her war of words with Lauren and Ava. Until now, Caitlin has kept mudslinging to a minimum, but last night in this exclusive, Caitlin was ready to put on a raincoat and let the words fly. Caitlin had said this: Ava and Lauren are talentless girls with nothing better to do than talk trash about famous people around them, she said by the phone from her dressing room at the theater. I used to feel sorry for them, but I don't anymore. Those two are gunning for Sky and me, and the only reason they're doing it is because they have no other way to keep their names in the press. They're dying to be the new Heidi and Spencer, and that's pathetic because these two are equally spot-hogging wannabes. Wow. Has little Miss Nice started sounding like Sky all of a sudden? Maybe, Caitlin says, and if it's true, that's probably a good thing. Sky's never been afraid to express herself, and no one messes with her. Well, I'm tired of being stepped on. The Laurens, Avas, Rileys, Demandas of the world better watch out because I'm not taking their garbage anymore. When asked who Riley and Demanda were, Caitlin fumbled and quickly said she had to go. But one thing is for certain, the new Caitlin is ready to rumble. To be 17 again. To be a 17-year-old girl is to be mildly insane. 14. Rash decisions can cost you. Austin hasn't called her back. She's going on the date with Dylan. They go on the date. She realizes she doesn't want to break up, and she doesn't even really like him like that. And he doesn't like her like that. She just wanted attention. My snakeskin bag hangs off my shoulder, and I feel for my phone self-consciously, hoping it was ring on command. Of course it doesn't. I have to talk to Austin right now. I can't wait another minute. I keep calling till he picks up. He has to pick up. Dylan, I ask, would you hate me if I told you I had to leave? He grins. I'd be surprised if you didn't. Tell your partner I said hi. You'll reach him on his mobile eventually. Either that, or you'll have to hop on the next plane to see him. Go to Texas? Why didn't I think of that? I give him a kiss on the cheek. Dylan, you're brilliant. I'll see you at the theater. I rush out of the bathroom, through the restaurant, and out to the street. I stick my hand into oncoming traffic and wailed wildly for a cab. I've got a plane ticket to drive. A plane ticket to buy. 25 minutes later, I burst through our apartment door with a well-thought-out, extremely rational plan of action. Okay, originally it was my plan B, but plan A was reaching Austin by phone, and he's not answering, so 911! I yell as I can yell all I want because Mom and Dad are in the Hamptons again. Nadine, Liz, pack your bags! Guys, where are you guys? Nadine and Liz come flying out of their rooms at the same time. Doors slamming behind them. Maddie opens his door too, his sleep mask still over his eyes. He's wearing a Scooby-Doo t-shirt. Figures, a fourth door opens, and I realize it's a bathroom. A huge cloud of steam precedes Sky, who has my monogram towel wrapped around her head. She's also wearing my pink robe. Where are you jabbering about? What are you doing here? I asked, surprised that for a moment I forgot all about my master plan. They ran out of hot water at my hotel. Sky pulls my robe tightly around her small waist. They weren't getting it back for at least an hour. Can you imagine? I couldn't wait that long. So I called here and Liz says you were out with that cute British co-star. What were you thinking? I'm not sure what to comment on first. The fact that Liz said Sky could use her shower, or the fact that I was out with Dylan. I look at Liz and she sort of shrugs. She's trying, and that's all friends can really ask friends to do. So, time for her to buy a plane ticket and head out to Texas. She's like, am I a bad person? She's like, no. Nadine shakes her head, practical as always. You're human, and you're not a bad person for finding someone else cute. That's normal. There's not a day that goes by in Los Angeles that I don't marvel at some hot guy's body. That doesn't mean I pounce on them. Trev and I have a simple understanding. Sky is referring to their boyfriend. Flirting is okay, but anything beyond that is not. Trev knows that men find me irresistible. I can't help it. Liz snorts and Sky glares at her. This one's about Twitter. Hardly a Hollywood secret, but I'll read it. Hollywood secret number 14. Sky may do her own twittering, but not all celebrities do. Some of them are eager to get in on the ego-obsessed Twitter craziness that they have their own personal assistants handle their accounts for them. Are you really surprised? Even some stars' official websites and blogs are handled by outsiders who are paid to write their daily entries for them. I'm not about the PDA I remind them, and besides, I highly doubt Twitter shoutouts will help anything. So now, it's time to buy the fucking plane ticket. Let her buy the plane ticket. They get a private plane. Courtesy of Caitlin's entertainment law firm, i.e. Liz's dad. Shout out to Liz's dad's private plane. We love that plot point. It sticks around. Celebrity Insider Online. Breaking news. Online exclusive. Caitlin Brick and Sky McKenzie urge the media to help stop the feud madness. Speaking by phone to Celebrity Insider, Caitlin Brick and Sky McKenzie, aka Scat, made a public plea to squash the escalating war of words between them and socialites, reality TV stars Hayden, Ava Hayden, and Lauren Cobb, aka Lava. We are sick of the drama, said Caitlin, who claimed she was calling from her New York City apartment, although we heard planes taking off in the background. Sky and I are tired of the back and forth between the so-called Team Sky, the so-called Scats and Lavas of the world. We just want this whole fight to end. Caitlin had it. It doesn't matter who started it or why it started. We want the negative energy to go away. No one can win this. We're going to continue to hurt each other. Why? Because we don't get along? We don't have to get along. We can stay out of each other's spaces and live our lives. That's what I intend to do. I have been doing a lot of thinking, and I realize now that nothing good comes from being vengeful and hurtful. You're better off letting something slide, and this is one of them. After tonight, Sky and I won't be answering any more questions about Lava's behavior, no matter what they throw our way. The statement is in sharp contrast to another interview that was posted online just 24 hours ago by lesser reputable entertainment outlet, Caitlin admits the quotes were hers, but she said she wasn't thinking clearly at the time of the interview. "I'd had a rough night, and I think I took things too far," she admits. "I apologize for being just as down and dirty as Lauren and Ava have been. I don't normally act that way, and I regret my behavior. If my statement hurt anyone reading them, I apologize." Sky was in full agreement with her former Family Affair co-star on the silent treatment Caitlin is suggesting. "What good is going to come from this fight?" Sky added. "Nothing. It's a way to get more headlines and public attention, and Kay and I are not the type to cave to that. Those two keep doing more and more public displays of hatred to try and keep their 15 minutes of fame going, while their 15 minutes are over because we're not firing back anymore." Sky was tweeting while she spoke, saying she was hoping to get my last 2 cents in before we shut down this whole discussion completely. Her tweets were during the midnight hour included, "Let the haters continue to hate. We are out of this, and Lava knows what they've done, and they've got to live with that. The star refuses to be dimmed by their callousness. Our favorite, Lava, you will never get any more press out of us. We got bigger fish to fry, you guppies. Go back to the small pond where you belong." Hearing Scat on the same page had this reporter wondering, are the former frenemies just plain friends? Both skirt around the issue, with Sky even adding, "How did Kay respond to that question?" But there is one important thing to note. They were together, late at night, somewhere loud. Airplanes? Going somewhere else together. Isn't that sort of a thing friends do? Sky laughed at CIO suggesting that, but she wasn't so quick to laugh off her questions about rumors that the pair could work together again on a fall pilot. "I can't comment on that, but you know you'd love it if we would." Caitlin was equally coy. "If that's true, I'd be pretty lucky," she said as Sky chided her in the background. "If there's one thing I can say about Sky, it's that with her, I at least know where I stand. With Lava, I never did." Wait, that's sort of a dig, isn't it? She said with a laugh. "I take that back. I'm done hurling insults. Insulting people's not what I'm about. New York was my summer to try new things, and I have, but it's important not to forget who I was before." "God damn," Caitlin added. "I realize that now that's why I'm stopping this feud craziness. Hopefully Celebrity Insider will help us too." So what do you think? Should we stop the Team Scat and Team Lava coverage? Tweet your thoughts at Celebrity Insider. 15. Texas or bust. They get to a hotel. They're going to go see him in the morning because then she still has to come back. It's 10 a.m. She checks her phone. Austin tried calling her all night, but he's like, "We need to talk." And she's like, "Ah!" So it's time. Hollywood secret number 15. Getting my license isn't really a secret. I know. I've been trying to get it forever. And I really am taking the test when I get back home at the end of the summer. But how do celebrities deal with things like the DMV is sort of a juicy tidbit. Ever wonder why you never bump into Kim Kardashian renewing her license? That's because she's probably never waits in line. Certain places like the DMV in Hollywood or Beverly Hills have a side entrance from time to time they let celebrities use it. You could say it's getting us out of a 2-hour line, but the DMV sees it as helping them as well. If a star causes a commotion in that line, then it would be a lot harder to take care of things than letting us cut to the front of the line to get new license plates. Midday in the sun! Oh my god, everyone's there. Maddie's there. She goes bounding across the field to find him. And they're like, "Oh my god, he's actually really good." "I'm looking for someone, actually," I tell him as I smile at all the newcomers. "I don't know if he's actually out here, though. He told me his group doesn't usually play during the early afternoon." The guy nods. "None of us do. It rained all last week, so we had to do it today to make up for some lost scrimmage time." "That means Austin is out here somewhere." I scan the fields again, wishing I could spot him. "Do any of you know Austin Myers?" The guy motions to someone behind him. I think he's on the same floor as him. A girl with a long brown ponytail, long side-swept bangs, and legs longer than Heidi Klum strolls over. She isn't wearing any makeup, and she's super sweaty, but her tan skin is flawless, and she has the most gorgeous gray eyes. I don't even have to ask to know who she is. "Amanda, right?" I ask. Liz and Sky stop fighting and look up. "Yeah." Amanda looks from my yellow print Coach sandals up to my clean pink manicure and snakeskin bag. Before I stop myself, I notice her chipped short red nails. She quickly drops her hands to her side and sort of hides them behind her back. I immediately feel guilty. It isn't hard to tell that Amanda is as beautiful as she is. She feels unsure of herself now that the girl she's been toying with is standing right in front of her. And a movie star, no movie star. This is a girl-to-girl problem. "That's the girl?" Sky is loud on purpose. "Decker!" Amanda shifts slightly, and I watch as she keeps pushing her bangs nervously behind her ears. Everyone is looking at us, even though I highly doubt anyone but me and Amanda knows what's going on. But I know, and so does Amanda. We could go two ways with this. We could scream at each other, make nasty put-downs, trying to one-up each other for Austin. Or I could rip into her and make her feel insignificant like Lauren and Ava have done to me and Sky all summer. We did to them on SNL, but where did that get us? Nowhere. Where did being mean to Riley get me? It hasn't made her any nicer to me or convinced her I can handle a stage. After everything that has gone down this summer, I finally realized one thing. You really do get more bees with honey. It's time to act mature. Oh my god, she's so goddamn lip-pilled. She's so perfect. I find Caitlin to be indicative of a problem in which we truly believe that teenage girls are stupid, and that depiction means is an indictment, is acceptance. These bitches are rotted and learn a lesson at the end. Caitlin can't even get to the end to learn the lesson. She does like a selfish thing and then is like, oh, was I too mean? And pulls back immediately. Ugh. I get it. You lay with the dogs, you get fleas. Hi, I'm Caitlin. I keep my tone pleasant and Sky gasps. It's nice to meet you. What is she doing? Sky hisses and I notice Liz start to drag her away. She should punch her! Amanda slowly extends her own sweaty hand. Amanda. Her voice is soft. She does, however, look slightly relieved. And I am too. She's been catty and rude to me more than once, but she's obviously thinks my boyfriend is a hottie, and who can blame her for that one? I'm looking for Austin. Do you know where he is? He's on the other field. Amanda points in that direction with her stick. I can take you if you want. That'd be great. I follow her through the crowd, leaving the others behind. I look back anxiously and I see Nadine's face. She looks proud. I guess I know how she would handle this situation too. Amanda and I sort of walk in silence, sticking to a few occasional sentences that are sure not to cause any problems, like, wow, it's hot here, and how's your trip to Texas? Way too soon or not soon enough, depending on the scattered thoughts racing through my mind. We're at the field and Amanda's pointing at Austin. Austin is in full-on lacrosse mode. I can barely make out his face under his helmet, but I know his number, and I keep my eyes on him as Amanda points out the other teammates and talks about the scouts that have already come by last week. He's really good, she says to me. I know. I stop when I realize that sounds kind of territorial, even though I didn't mean to be. I mean, I've seen him play at home. Right. You would be, being his girlfriend and all. Austin appears, and she's like, I'm sorry, I didn't immediately tell you. One of my coworkers had a crush on me. I wish you would talk to me. And he's like, I should have called you when I said I would. It's not that I didn't want to talk to you. I hate the phone. I hate the phone! Austin admits. His mouth starts to twitch like he's going to smile. I hate it! We never talk on it at home. I talk to you for 5 minutes or we text and then I see you, so there's no need for technology to get in the way. But a lengthy phone conversation, I can't stand it. I should have told you that. That's such a fucking cop-out. I hate the phone. Fuck you. Ugh. They make up and there's little kissy kisses, and now it's time for her to get back to New York to finish up, because this is our last chapter. 16, Back to the Future. It's been 3 weeks since I visited Austin, and the rest of my stint in the play in New York has been blissfully smooth. I think I finally got the hang of the stage thing, even though Riley won't give me credit for it. I know I'm improving. She's not even offering me her opinion anymore. They've been working on the pilot for the last 2 weeks, and it's so great. I hit her bony arm and it makes a light smacking sound. We've been doing what we love again, even if it's the show's only short term and bombs. We back on set every day, and I thought I'd had to get away from the daily grind to figure out what I wanted to do, but this play made me realize what I wanted to do was in front of me the whole time. I like being on TV. I'm good at it. Why do I have to transcend and be a movie star? Because your mom is a clout hungry bitch. Hollywood secret number 16. When you watch a sitcom and you see the credit line shot in front of a live studio audience, that means the show is really taped in front of a live studio audience. Unlike the morning talk shows that air live in real time, these shows are taped live, but they aren't taped with actual time constraints. They take hours to film a half-hour sitcom in front of a live audience. Sometimes they have to do scenes over and over from every single angle. Sometimes they botch a take. Sometimes the audience laugh is dubbed in. Well, no matter how often we shoot an episode, sounds offensively. You just gotta bask in my glow. Those two are besties again. They're going to join the show. Small fish, big fries, and now they're calling it small fries. I like the name better. Seth says this meeting is just formality. So, Enrich Arrogin, this guy's agent, they claim we've already gotten the job and they want to see us in person to ask a few questions. It's the curtain rising. First act runs so smoothly. Everything's going well. It's the end of the show. Boy crushes are there. They've got this show, and Meg has been kept at bay with her darling Daisy's activities instead of being a bitch. It's time to go home and get settled and finish up everything. I like the first 3, really the first 4 books better, and I feel like there's the onset of social media really kind of just like tanks these books. You simply don't need a book fictionalizing the lives of rich hot teens when the rich hot teens will tell you everything on TikTok and YouTube. You know? But Broadway Lights. She gets to go on the show. Next time we're going to talk about There's No Place Like Home, and it's going to be a much quicker video. Because I hate this final story. Hate. It's a culminate. It's like a pretty good culmination. But I wish that wasn't the last story. I wish that wasn't the last, like, hurrah. That wasn't the last battle we fight. But it's always going to be the last battle you fight. Battles with your mom. There's no water in there. Alright. Crazy. I'm giving Mary Crosby realness. I'm giving Karen from Potomac. It's supposed to be Jen, but it's giving Miranda. I'm covering a lot of shows. Not a lot of shows. I'm covering like 2 shows right now. 2 current reality TV shows and one classic show. I'm fucking vibing. Living my life like it's golden. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Megan_Blush_. I'm just vibing. It's so weird to finish something I started the channel with, but we're almost at the end. And frankly, good.